Just when it seemed rumors of a budding bromance between Saudi Arabia and Israel were coming true, an intense Gaza conflict has the unlikely duo cooling off their budding relationship faster than you can say Shalom in Arabic. The crisis prompted an even more surprising first call between sworn geopolitical enemies, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammad bin Salman and Iranian President Ibrahim Razi, signaling Riyadh may be rethinking its radical plans to make peace with Israel, as tensions in the region spike. It seems the road to normalizing ties is hitting some major speed bumps, leaving allies in Washington scrambling to get this once close partnership back on track. The intensifying crisis prompted Saudi Arabia to open channels of communication with Iran. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman received a call from Iranian President Ibrahim Razi, emphasizing collaborative measures to prevent a broader regional escalation in the turmoil. This recent development casts doubts on the previously advancing negotiations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. Insiders revealed that the US-supported talks aimed at normalizing relations with Israel, a critical step for Saudi Arabia in securing a sought-after US defense treaty, are currently in a state of suspension. The delay is attributed to an Iran-backed Houthi attack on Israel that unfolded on October 7th, described as a devastating strike. The optimism that had surrounded the leaders of both Israel and Saudi Arabia regarding progress towards a groundbreaking deal now faces a setback. Initial reports had hinted at Saudi Arabia actively pursuing a US defense treaty, a pursuit that encounters a temporary obstacle due to the evolving geopolitical dynamics in the region. Efforts towards the accord appear to be at risk of derailing, even without substantial concessions from Israel regarding Palestinian statehood aspirations. However, sidelining the Palestinian concerns could provoke anger amongst Arabs, particularly as news outlets broadcast images of Palestinians killed in Israeli retaliatory air attacks during the October 7th offensive. In that offensive, Hamas forces reportedly caused casualties among Israelis, with over 1,300 reported killed. By the following Friday, Israel's ongoing strikes on Gaza had resulted in the death of over 1,952 Palestinians. A source familiar with Riyadh's perspective indicated that talks cannot continue presently, emphasizing that the issue of Israeli concessions for Palestinians must take precedence when negotiations resume. This suggests that Riyadh has not abandoned the concept entirely. This reconsideration by Saudi Arabia underscores the challenges faced by Washington in advancing Israel's integration in a region where the Palestinian cause remains a significant concern for Arabs. The notion of normalization, already deemed forbidden in the Arab world, continues to present complex hurdles in the pursuit of regional diplomatic solutions. The ongoing war adds complexity to the situation. Saudi Arabia's expert, Aziz al-Ashan, noted that the conflict exacerbates existing tensions. While Washington aims to build on the Abraham Accords, which normalized relations between certain Gulf states, including the UAE, recent events have prompted a shift in focus. During a White House briefing, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan clarified that the normalization effort is not on hold, but is currently addressing other pressing issues. According to a source familiar with Saudi thinking, the U.S. urged Riyadh to condemn the Hamas attack, but Saudi Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan resisted, as confirmed by a U.S. source. Regional tensions led to the first conversation between the Saudi Crown Prince and Iran's president since the Gulf foes re-established diplomatic ties in April. The Crown Prince emphasized Saudi Arabia's efforts to engage with international and regional parties to halt the escalation during the call. Iran's President Razi aimed to aid Palestine and prevent further conflict, describing the call as pleasant and promising. The 45-minute call, approved by Supreme Leader Ali Hosseini Khamenei, focused on de-escalating tensions. While the Saudi government did not elaborate on the contact, they emphasized the kingdom's opposition to civilian targeting and loss of innocent lives, reaffirming their unwavering support for the Palestinian cause. Saudi Arabia has actively sought to ease tensions in the Middle East, particularly in Yemen, where Riyadh has led a military coalition against the Iran-aligned Houthi rebels. In response to questions about the call, a senior U.S. State Department official stated that the U.S. maintains constant contact with Saudi leaders, with Secretary of State Antony Blinken engaging with his Saudi counterpart multiple times. In response to the escalating situation, Washington sought assistance from partners with ties to Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran. The primary objective was to persuade Hamas to cease its attacks, secure the release of hostages, prevent Hezbollah's involvement, and keep Iran from entering the conflict. Gulf states, including those with connections to Israel, expressed concerns over the potential damage escalating tensions could inflict on them. Alex Vatanka, the director of the Iran program at the Middle East Institute in Washington, pointed out the contrasting perspectives of Saudi Arabia and Iran in the region. Saudi Arabia prioritizes regional collaboration and economic development, while Iran appears to prioritize countering Israel. Additionally, the implementation of a Muslim embargo could potentially benefit Iran by exerting pressure on neighboring Azerbaijan, which has been in conflict with Iran. As we delve into recent developments, the prospect of broad multilateral sanctions against Israel appears unlikely owing to its close energy and security ties with Tel Aviv. Analysts propose an alternative scenario, a more feasible, tighter embargo, possibly a temporary halt to crude shipments. However, this proves improbable due to Israel's dependence on suppliers like Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan for over half of its oil needs. These suppliers, especially Baku, are unlikely to support an embargo as they heavily rely on Israeli armaments to maintain military superiority, particularly over rivals like Armenia. The potential impact of international sanctions against Israel extends to Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates, both OPEC member states. The 2020 Abraham Accords saw these Gulf Arab states normalizing relations with Israel, resulting in increased trade, particularly for the UAE. While Iran's call for a Muslim embargo on Israel may face challenges gaining traction, the mounting Palestinian death toll could prompt Arab and Muslim powers to adapt more assertive stances against Tel Aviv. As tensions escalate, Iran is exploring new avenues to strengthen ties with Saudi Arabia, potentially through initiatives fostering Muslim solidarity, perhaps within the OPEC framework. Simultaneously, Iran seeks to enhance relations with other key regional players, including Egypt. The coordination on the Gaza war serves as a backdrop for involvement that might incur a higher political cost under different circumstances. And with that, we wrap up today's insights. As Iran navigates diplomatic channels, remember to like this video and hit subscribe to stay abreast of our channel. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time.